Rich Trigger Bontrager is the creator and host of How to Rock the Virtual Stage, airing live and replaying on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and C-Suite TV. Rich is also head of the podcast and TV content with C-Suite Network. Rich is an expert on virtual stage presentations and coaches top professionals on broadcast and stage skills to help them have a more significant impact on stage and today's virtual platforms. Rich's passion is to equip executives, leaders, and speakers to more effectively rock the stage. This desire comes from his 30 years as a professional broadcaster, pastor, and keynote speaker. Rich provides one-on-one transformational coaching with real tools, evaluations, and action steps to transform your confidence, clarity, and communication skills radically. The Stroke of Genius podcast, hosted by brain aneurysm and stroke survivor Aaron Avila, sharing the experiences of survivors and CEOs. This is your destination for inspiration.
Good morning, Rich. Today's guest is Rich Bontrager.
Hey, everybody. Rich Bontrager is my name, and I'm a professional broadcaster, public speaker, leadership coach, but my specialty is media skills. I've been a broadcaster for over 30 years, and I help you look and sound and be more confident on camera, like Aaron is, and many others that are now doing public speaking, coaching, and video events like this. My goal, my passion is to help you rock the stage. And I'm happy to be here today and talk to Aaron about some of the other things that I've overcome, my struggles, and some of my disability issues that I've had to overcome to rock the stage and still do what I do. So, Aaron, thank you for having me on here today.
Well, Rich, it's such an awesome honor to have you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You represent the C-Suite Network, Avila C-Suite Network to the D. You're all about the people, not the product. So I appreciate you being there with me today.
Well, Aaron, it's great to have you in the C-Suite with us. Let's not forget, you're one of the leaders there, man. You're great.
Well, I really appreciate that. But, let's start this first segment. You had like 3 near-death experiences. Please tell the audience what you've experienced in your life, starting at birth.
Yeah, starting at birth, I was supposed to die, Aaron. I was never supposed to make it past getting out of the hospital. I was told, or my parents were told, I was too young to remember, but my parents were told that I would die of a childhood disease that every infant at that age back then had died from. And so it took several weeks for them to finally believe I was really not going to die. But it was a battle that then affected things like I'm deaf in my left ear. It affected my eyesight. There were some other lingering effects of that childhood birth defect. Plus, then I grew up with a horrible stutter. Now, that's not something that's going to kill me, but it definitely affected me. And by age 10, I was in a horrible fire accident. That's the second near-death accident. I caught on fire, and I should be dead at least or blind, one of the two, because it covered my entire face, part of my body. And I was at age 10, and that was over a year recovery of going through that. And my final one just happened almost 5 years ago now. I was diagnosed with liver failure. They don't know why. They have no idea, Aaron, what caused me to have liver failure. But I got to the point where I was really ugly looking. I had the dark brown eyes, a really sunken face. And I was really close to passing away and going. And then I got the great gift of life was a new liver. On March 17th, 2017, I got a new liver. So every year I celebrate a new birthday, man. How cool is that? I got 2 birthdays now.
Well, you're living proof it's attitude, bro. It's attitude. I mean, it's not just survival. It's your attitude. It's 90% and 10% what happens to us, and 90% how we respond.
Oh, totally.
So it's
because I'm a joyful, fun-loving guy. Even in my darkest time, Aaron, even when I was in the hospital recovering, I was laughing and joking with the doctors, and they said, "Dude, you're really sick. You're going to die." And I'm cracking jokes about the last football game I saw.
Yeah, that's that's what I just said. Is attitude. I know, as you know, I cater to the stroke survivor community, and there's so many people that curl up after that near-death experience or that tragic life event, and curl up and wait to die. Basically, they don't live again. But
No,
you are the opposite of that.
well, because I've got a really strong faith. That's part of what it is. My belief in God is a big part of my life, and I believe there's help. I believe in love and laughter are big. I'm a extremely hopeful person, and so hope and my faith play a big part of it. But also, honestly, Aaron, I tell people that my sense of humor is probably one of the biggest gifts I got. I naturally like to joke and tease and have fun. So as the doctors told me and my family all the serious medical stuff when I was 10 years old and I couldn't play football in the backyard, my humor and my imagination helped me get through it all. So I believe in dreaming. I believe in crazy ideas. I believe that great stuff can happen because I've lived it and done it. And I love hearing about other people's great stories like that. So, yeah, you don't have to take it all serious. It's a very serious topic about liver failure and death, but I didn't take it all serious.
That is so true. I also went through a very similar thing, a near death experience. And how you respond, what happens to you, really dictates your destiny, your future. People don't realize, Rich, they're in control of the destiny. It's them that determine it.
Well, and like when I was going through, so my liver failure was over 3 years. It was a slow decline. I got worse and worse and worse. So finally, I was basically living at my brother's house, because every day living in the house. I couldn't even go out. But what I started to do even then, Aaron, was I began to realize I couldn't do my normal job. I couldn't go travel, be a public speaker. I couldn't do certain things anymore. I couldn't do the radio broadcasting that I love. So I opened up my laptop and I started to use my creative media skills, and I started to write movie scripts and TV scripts. I had to do something to still be creative. I had to do something to still have fun. And I just started to do that to keep my energy going. Now they're still on my laptop. I've never done anything with them, but at that moment in time, that was my creative outlet. After a transplant, my next goal was to get back in the broadcast booth by football season. So I had 4 months to get back in shape. And guess where I was opening Friday night in August in Georgia? I was back in the broadcast booth. Those
Wow.
are the things you need to have goals and dreams to keep going forward.
Wow, that amazing. I'm kind of curious, Rich. Tell me a little bit about your prior experience. What was that about? Because I'm kind of curious to see what that was.
Yeah, no. So the fire experience was we were home on a Friday school vacation day. My older brother's 3 years older than me. Dan was playing with a chemistry set in the garage, and I actually came into the garage, grabbed a bottle. It wasn't labeled, but it was open, and he had an open fire going with a Bunsen burner. So I walked toward the Bunsen burner, as a curious 10-year-old would do, and it was alcohol, and the alcohol bottle had fumes coming out of it, caught on fire, and it literally exploded and rained down fireballs on me. Uh, Now, we were all Boy Scouts. My brother rolled, jumped on me, put me out, but it was very, very severe. I had second-degree burns on my face, first-degree burns on part of my chest, and a third-degree burn on my leg that was very life-threatening and severe. Plus, of course, I had burned all my entire face, and they didn't know if I was blind or not. Um, but then again, from that, even when I went to the hospital, I set up laughing and joking and teasing. I had a pastor that came and visited me every day, and they had to scrub in and scrub out. They had to be very protective of against any bacteria getting to me. But it was part of that faith and part of those. He told me stupid riddles and jokes every day, Aaron. He gave me a riddle every day and said, "Now I'm going to come back tomorrow and have my answer." He kept me going with something in my head every day, even though I couldn't leave my hospital bed.
That's amazing. Now, people meet I know you're a spiritual man. In
Yeah.
fact, you were a pastor at one time.
Yep.
But do you think it played an influence on you? What influenced you to become spiritual and pastor?
Oh, that played a big part in all of this because I do believe in hope. I do believe in love. I do believe in joy. Those are all things I believe God gives us. Now, it's our choice to grab those, embrace those. So for me, every day when I went through those struggles, now, yes, I got frustrated. There were many days I was like bored to death watching reruns of Gilligan's Island. Okay. But there was also days that I could pray, celebrate, listen to music. And that always gave me back more energy, more joy. I've always been a creative. And so I read comic books that use my imagination. I did those movie scripts that use my imagination. I now coach people like you, Aaron, in a room where no one is around, and I use my imagination to help you get better and other people like you. So it's my faith, but it's my creativity and my faith that really go together and really keep me going.
Well, that's really something, people, like I said, your attitude of what you've been through and then where you're going proves that we are in control of our destiny, and we are in control of it by how we respond. So I really appreciate your attitude, Rich. It's awesome, bro.
Well, there's a lot of people that give up too easily. I mean, again, we all go through very serious hardship. I'm sure your recovery was not easy, but I think part of the challenge is believing every day is a new day. Every day is a chance to do one step further, which when my recovery was one step further, I'm sure it was one step further for you. And everyone wants to do everything big. Everyone wants to do everything all the time. You have to learn in our situations, Aaron, the small things are the big victories. Celebrate every little small thing when you're in recovery because it makes every day better.
Well, that is a great piece of advice. I want you guys to listen and celebrate those little accomplishments, little I'm getting better. Because those little each step turns into a journey, really does, and turns into a full walk. And I really appreciate that because if I looked at my stroke or like in this hole, I give up. I mean, it's just hard. But if I take this one of the steps, the small little accomplishments, and celebrate those, you're right. It's life changing, Rich.
Oh, it is. Like the 24 hours after my transplant, from the liver transplant, I have tubes everywhere, and the doctors come in and say, "Now, Mr. Bontrager, sit up and take a couple steps in your room." Aaron, I am so drugged up. I have so many tubes all over the place. I'm in excruciating pain, and they said, "Just get up and take a couple steps." I told the doctors, "Are you insane? Are you looking at me?" And he laughed like that. He said, "Good, you got a sense of humor. Now come on." He got me from my bed to the door, only to the door of my room. And he said, "Now that's enough. At least you got out of bed today. Tomorrow I want you to get out of bed twice. And then the next day, we're going to have you go around the nurse's station." By the end of 4 days after post-transplant, 4 days, Aaron, I was walking around laps around the nurse's station with my mom, but I could do the laps. When I left on day 5 days after transplant, Aaron, I left with only a walking cane in my hand. I never even really used it. I left with a walking cane, but the doctor said I had to. And I walked out hands-free 5 days after a life-changing surgery. To me, that's the joy. That's the fun. It was painful. It was really painful. But every day I got up and did a little bit more, and I realized I can do more tomorrow. I can do more toward tomorrow. So that's part of this journey, part of this recovery, this stroke stuff that you talk about all the time. Take it in small pieces and celebrate. Every night I celebrated that I got out of bed again, every day.
That is really inspiring, brother. I'll tell you, Rich. Hearing you talk about that way and then just keep on keeping on. Don't give up and keep looking forward. And like you say, use your imagination, dream, and move forward. And that they be a motivator. So that's really awesome. Appreciate that.
And really the other thing I learned, Aaron, was because I had big dreams. My career was taken off both in church ministry and as a broadcaster. I found out that my dreams are still there, but I had to change them because of what I went through. For a lot of people, that's the big struggle. They thought they've lost everything. They thought that they'll never get back. I'm now 5 years out from that transplant, and my career's taken off. I'm working. I'm loving it. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and I'm still loving life and have a great time. So part of the challenge, I think, is to learn to adapt your dreams. They're very similar, but they're not quite the same. And I've learned to embrace the new variation of what I was really going to do.
Wow. That's some tear jerking for me, bro. I'm telling you that I can relate to that totally, and I'm amazed. Now let's take a pause for a commercial break right now. All right, we're back. Here we go. And Tom it does new. But Rich, now let's get into a little bit of the second part of my podcast. So let's get into your professional side of you. You've survived these severe life-threatening situations. But what are you doing now, professionally?
Now professionally, I'm back to coaching people and using media skills to help people learn how to be media experts and spokesmen, podcast, TV personality. I'm using all my public speaking skills and all my media skills, and I'm helping people what I call rock the stage. Rock the stage is not just about public speaking, it's about your career now because we're virtual in so many ways. You've got to bring your personality, you have to bring your brand on microphone, on camera, and everyone's got to learn how to do this now. Everything is now TV. And so I'm helping people do that every day by coaching and leading media skills. And then I do my own broadcast stuff. I do my own weekly show that you're a regular guy in the crowd with us at Rock the Stage every week. And I'm loving using the media skills and working with great people like yourselves and many others, from corporate CEOs to startup companies. I love helping people understand how to do this better and better every day.
Yeah, so when you see Rock the Stage, I watch, you seem so natural on camera and you seem so comfortable. And that's part of rocking the stage. But I'm one of your fans. I try to attend as many weekly shows as possible. But I'm curious, Rich, what would you say is the biggest piece of advice you give someone newer on the stage?
One of the biggest pieces, I say, relax and have fun. And that comes out of my stutter. When I was young, I had a broadcasting professor who said, "You have a great voice. No one's ever going to hire you because you stutter." Now, I stuttered more when I read the news and I was trying to read someone else's story and take their written word and turn it into my mouth and turn it into my own words. And it didn't work. I found out when I did sports interviews and play-by-play, and I could ad lib. I could use all my personality and all my own words. And when I began to embrace that, then I got into talk shows. Then I got into other things because it wasn't someone else's words, it was mine. And so this is where, again, learning who you are. I have a disability. I have my stutter right now. It's still with me, but I have to work through this. But once you learn that, what can you do to overcome it? I don't have to do the hard news. I don't have to look at a teleprompter. I don't have to be boring and stiff. I can be rich and have fun and do these shows. And most times people don't know that I stutter.
You told me the first time, I didn't ever notice it. So it's pretty awesome. But, I think the thing that touches me the most, and you're right in line with Jeffrey Hazelett, be authentic.
Yeah.
When I'm with you, when I'm on my stage, I could either be self-conscious of my speech deficit, or I could just be who I am, and it's be authentic is the key.
Relaxing, smiling, having fun, being authentic, that's all really is the key, Aaron. You're absolutely right. Because at times when I'm doing presentations, whether it's on video or on live stage, my stutter will kick in. Now, sometimes I can cover it up. No one knows it. Other times, if I blow it, I'm like, and I make a joke about it, okay? I poke fun at myself. Everyone else gets a laugh and a chuckle. Everyone knows I'm cool with it. They're cool with it. There's no tension. I've heard you on some calls. You're so comfortable now with it. You'll talk about, sorry, but I sound kind of like Elmer Fudd. and we all laugh and joke, and you joke. You found you are comfortable with who you are.
Yeah.
You're not hiding behind it, and that's where the joy and the fun comes in. So to me, that really is a huge part. Just relax, be authentic. When you blow it, admit it. No one's gonna. You don't die doing this, Aaron. you actually get more followers. You'll get more people that will appreciate your work because it's not over perfect. It's authentic, and people are attracted to people being authentic.
That is so true, Rich, because I know that what I do, if I implement being real and just be who I am, because when I first started this, I said, no way I don't want hosting, 3 shows a week. And I never thought I'd see myself there. I felt kind of stupid. I talked like on my phone. I mean, but I and one guy, a mentor at the time, his name was Roland Tacoga. He said, "Your voice, the way you speak, will actually become more of a trademark for you than will be a disability."
Yes,
And it's true, Rich.
that's what we need to embrace. Even what some people might call a disability, you need to embrace it. And you need to find a way to make that part of your uniqueness, not a deficit. Make it unique. There's a man that I can't remember his name right now, but he has no arms and no legs. And he goes,
yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he goes out and talks to high schoolers about overcoming challenges. He's laughing and joking and carrying on, and he's bouncing on the table. And it's absolutely incredible that he took something that was really, really, really intense and turned it into a life-changing career to help other people overcome their problems and their lives and their worries. We need to embrace those things and find a way to use them for something good, just like you're doing, Aaron.
Yeah, it kind of, I had a person one time tell me it's our superpower. His superpower, believe it or not, I knew the guy talking about Australian, pardon your brother if y'all don't watch this. He's Australian and he swims and no legs, no arms, dives out diving boards. Amazing. But guess look at what you've been through, what I've been through, what most of my audience has been through.
Yep.
It becomes almost your superpower, the way you it's part of that being authentic and unique person you are.
Well, and for me, I teach and coach people to speak and present better. Even when I get on stage here, and part of my introduction, when someone else reads my introduction, is professional speaker, broadcaster, and he's here to help you present better. The guy who stutters for a living. Welcome, Rich.
No.
I use it as an introduction to get a laugh like that, so people know, okay, they're kind of curious now. He stutters, and he's going to help me talk better. People are curious now about what happened and what I bring to the table. And then when I share my story, tell them how to coach, tell them how to slow down between your head and your mouth. You need to slow down because we always have more ideas up here than we have right here. And if we can get our brain and our mouth to work, my stutter is not a problem anymore. And so I start coaching that way. Everyone gets it. I can use this to help other people. And that's part of the fun here. Just like you're using this to help other people. It's amazing and I've seen you over the last 2 years, how you've started and made it bigger and bigger and better because you're using your superpower to the best of its ability.
But it's been a blessing for me. I mean, you mentioned God working. God works. I look at it. Now, see, you may look at the same, but my brain injury and stroke, they were the tools God used to bring me in my destiny. I am where I'm supposed to be. I'm here right now talking to you because it's meant to be here. And it's amazing. I love it.
Well, yeah, and I had my own career path. I had my own plans. And at some point, I knew there would be a new stage. I kind of knew that in my head, but I didn't know what that new stage was going to be. Well, now I'm speaking around the world on a virtual camera stage. And I still do in person, but now I also coach. it is amazing what happens when you allow God to lead you, to trust, but when you also are willing to try. Again, this is about, there was no guarantee any of this is going to work for you or me, Aaron. There was no guarantee. But look at what happened for both of us. We both kept with it. We kept refining it. I mean, you've gone through several different variations of what you are doing. I've gone through several different variations. That's where we have to just keep trying. Don't give up. There's some way to make it work. It's how you make it work and how you show up.
Yeah, I think it's, you said it. You said it. Don't give up. Really, just keep at it. And success will be ours, and it will be for the person that does. I have a inspirational quote that I commonly use: "You could never fail if you never stop trying." That if you can't be fail at anything if you never stop trying.
No, that's absolutely true. Again, my college professor said, "Dude, no one will hire you." My college professor is still in touch with me to this day. He laughs. He laughs every time he hears what's going on. He laughs and says, "Okay, I was wrong. You were stubborn, and look where you're at now. Thank goodness you were stubborn."
Yeah, thank God.
Because I didn't give up. And, more people need to hear that, Aaron. More people need to hear when they're in recovery, when they're coming through a stroke, when they're coming through some disability, just don't give up. Now, again, it goes back to those baby steps. This did not happen overnight. It's taken me, since my transplant, almost 5 years to really get this back up where it is. It's taken you several years to get this where it's really taken off now. It doesn't happen overnight. So we have to learn to be patient while we're pressing on and while we're trying.
Great. That's really, don't give up. I know Richard, and I'm not saying it's easy. In fact, life can throw some real bad curves at you. It's going to be hard at times, right, Rich? But the key is don't give up.
No, and again, also for both of us, I know we've had to reach out to other people. Part of being the C-Suite Network, which is on C-Suite Radio. I'm on the team with Jeffrey, like you mentioned, but part of the network is we get to plug in with other great people, and those people have helped, support, open more doors. Part of this is you'd never do this alone. Whenever you're coming out of recovery, whenever you're coming out of a rehab, whatever it is you're going through, make sure you find your network, your tribe. Aaron and I both are very blessed to be a part of the C-Suite Network, and it's global. There's people from all the world that know Aaron every week. They talk to him. They love him. Same thing with me, and that's where this has become so much bigger than just Aaron or myself. Is Aaron, you got people everywhere that know who you are and what you do. It's truly amazing.
Well, it's amazing. I want to say something in the podcast. Everybody check out C-Suite Network. Go to, I think it's csuitenetwork.com, man.
csuitenetwork.com.
All right. So we want to encourage you to become a member and check it out. It's a great, amazing community of people. And Rich is definitely one of the primaries there. So appreciate you. But in the last few minutes, you got like a few minutes. I want everybody to start coming to your show on Wednesday. When do you tell us about your show? When is it? When is it?
So How to Rock the Stage show. We stream it live every Wednesday night. You can find it on LinkedIn. There's always an event page there. You can go to my website, richbontrager.net, and you can find the event page and you can register for this live streaming show. The live show is really 2 shows in one. The first half hour, we do an interview with our special guests, whatever their discussion is, whether it's media skills, marketing, whether it's some new thing that they developed to rock the stage and they're part of business and life. And then the second half of the show, you get to come on in and you get to ask the expert your own questions. And that's really one of the funnest parts of the show is I get to act as the MC, but I get to hear real questions from real people. And then we're replaying that on Roku, Amazon Fire, and on C-Suite TV as well. And so this show is live, but then we rebroadcast it so you can watch it over and over again. And again, it was one of those things, kind of like Aaron. I just thought of an idea, knew people needed help with media skills and presentation skills. And here I am now almost 2.5 years later, and the show has really taken off. Thank you, Aaron, for letting me do that.
Yeah, you know, I want to. I got to play. I put my 2 cents worth in. I love your show, Rich. I do. I go there. I love the interaction. I love the presentation. The way 4 minutes show. You let the guest present, and then we all get to talk to them. We get to talk to her, whoever it is presenting, and it's a great 4 minutes. So I encourage you guys, as a fan of Rich's show, every Wednesday, right? Every
Every
Wednesday.
Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, we go live. We'll do it again this week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm counting tomorrow's. Who do you have on the guest for tomorrow, Rich?
Oh, Aaron, you got to come and find out. We're actually going to be talking about vocal. We're going to be talking about your vocal ability. How do you use your voice better to present, to coach, to lead, to storytell? This is your instrument, and I'm going to have a guest talk about how do you better do this so you can utilize your voice to your full potential.
So there it is, people. Thank you for being Rich. We're at the end of the closure for my show, and I can't thank you enough for being there. Thank you so much. It made me happy to have you. Thank you, Rich.
Thanks for letting me be here again, Aaron.
All right.